Hey guys, my name is Ellis. Welcome to my channel, and I recently started the series where I review full movies and TV shows, and I had a question for you guys. Should I review every episode separately in a separate video? Should I do 2 episodes at once, 3 episodes at once, or a complete season in one video? I think that's like the worst idea because one season, there's so much to talk about. So I'm considering like the best option would be 3 episodes at once. Let me know which one you would prefer, or I could do, 1 episode per video. And the first ever series that we're going to be reviewing on this channel is Lucifer. My god, it's so odd. We're not going to be receiving anything more from Lucifer after this. This is the final season.
Did you win?
Well, I won, but not without having to fly to the Silver City to save my girlfriend, burn up, prove to myself I was worthy, stop burning, and... Yeah, anyway, long story short, now I'm the big man.
The opening scene was spot on. Whoever came up with the idea, I want you to know that that was brilliant. That was genius. So the opening scene started and I was like, there was all this nostalgia and all these emotions. And I was like, what if it's not the same cop? They could have done that. It could have been hard to, find that actor again, but they found the same actor and I was like, wow. Wow.
Wow. ¿Sabroso? Wow. Eso. Wow, eh? Wow.
That was really cool. And then the whole point of, him telling how the cop's life changed after meeting Lucifer for the first time, that was okay. The cop did it. Cop, previously proved that he was not the most serious person in life, not the most loyal and trustable person in life, because he was taking the money. The thing that I noticed about Lucifer for the first time was how much he overshares. I had not realized that throughout the series, even though Chloe repeatedly mentioned how much Lucifer overshares.
Whatever's in that container, he won't tell me. And for a man who's all about oversharing, it says a lot.
It was when Lucifer took that cop down the memory lane, told him his entire life story and about how he had become God now. I was like, why are you telling this guy all of this? He did not ask you. He told him all of that, and he told him all of that before he even recognized the cop.
Hold on a minute. I do know you. You're the officer who likes to drive fast with his siren on.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy is... there is something seriously wrong with Lucifer. He's a really chatty person. And that is coming from someone who's also a very chatty person. But I've never revealed that much to a person I completely don't know. That's just so... It's like, what is wrong with Lucifer? Moving on, when he reached the club and he tossed the keys to the, what are they called? Valet. Yeah, he tossed the keys to the valet. I was like, the keys are gonna slow down, time is going to slow down, and Amenadiel is gonna show up again.
Bloody hell.
Because that happened in season 1. I expected that to happen, but it didn't, which was okay. But I'm like I really miss Amenadiel like stopping everything and just showing up, like, Lucifer would toss an apple in the air and just they would not drop, and like Amenadiel would show up out of the blue. It was pretty amazing.
Lately, I've been praying a lot, and it feels like nobody's listening.
And that's when, the conversation came up about Lucifer still not having become God. He still, hasn't had his coronation. And when he was talking to, Miss Lopez or, a couple of other people, and he was realizing, oh, this is way bigger a job, way tougher a job than I realized. And in that moment, I thought, we all like to believe things. Like, if I were the king of the world, I would do this and I would do that, and I would ban hunting, and I would say that everyone should be happy and healthy and healthcare should be free for everyone. We all want to do stuff like that.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
But in that moment, I realized something, that if you make me the president of the world right now, there are all these things that I want to do, but I don't know how to do them. That is why when the US gets a new president, the previous president teaches him stuff for like a couple of months. How do you expect someone to just like become God? I mean, they would all automatically become all knowing, but I understand the nervousness for Lucifer. But the whole point of him just like, that is why I think Amenadiel was a better candidate, because I think he would have immediately taken up the role and he would have, continued to deal with things the way God did. Lucifer, with all the new things he wants to do and all the nervousness, and he's like a bull in a china shop.
I mean, Lucifer, you really expect me to hang out here all night surrounded by mysteries and not try to figure out how everything works?
Moving on, they did a really great job with how Chloe is like trying to settle down with not being a detective. I mean, she was constantly on alert, and like all her muscles were tense. She was like, what is going on? And I could really relate to that, because I cannot watch something for just the sake of watching it. I'm constantly looking for things like, okay, I can use that in that, or I could make a video about this, or I could, that is a really nice wall, I should paint that on a shirt. My mind is constantly racing in that manner, so I could like understand what Chloe was going through when she just had to look at a puzzle but not solve it. So I think that was a really great job, because sometimes in most movies and TV shows, they neglect to do that. They just show a character like jumps into their new life and they like don't even have a problem. So I thought that was like pretty amazing. I think I want them to continue, Chloe having a problem with this, because that is natural human behavior. So Lucifer and Chloe on their date came across a murder. What a surprise. They came across a murder, but the thing that really made my day was the fact that after, when they were investigating the murder, he goes, "Are you all right, my boy?" I don't think anyone throughout the show has called Lucifer my boy.
Are you all right, my boy?
He just does not like to hear how the tricks are performed.
No, I most certainly do not.
Look, a lot of people are jealous of me, of course.
Kidding me?
Not Magnar. Magnar's a sweet old man. Me and him are still tight.
I could have gone on thinking about, "Are you all right, my boy?" throughout the night, but my brain woke up. It was like, okay, Alanif, focus on everything. And while I was trying to focus on everything, Chloe was having a conversation with a bracelet fellow. And as soon as he described his relationship to Magna, I immediately knew that it was going to be Magna's son who was going to turn out to be the murderer. I know family politics, okay? Having lived through a lot of it. I just knew that it was going to be Magna's son. I knew there was like a 95% chance that it was going to turn out to be Magna's son. And it did, ladies and gentlemen. But everyone else apparently did not have a brain like mine, and they had to, continue investigating in order to, get some screen time in, make an actual episode that is 40 minutes long. It's almost like when you watch Scooby-Doo and you're like, come on, can't you see who the murderer is? But if, they see who the murderer is, how will they make an entire episode about it?
And I did stab a man through the heart once.
Well, that is quite the coincidence, because that is exactly how Jared was killed.
Fascinating. Though I used a demon blade, this was a sword, so not really relevant, I suppose.
The way Lucifer just told him, "Oh, I'm good with a sword," but it wasn't a sword, it was a demon's dagger, I think. It was a demon's dagger, and Detective Carroll was just like, is this guy dumb or is he giving me a confession? He was like so bewildered. And when Lucifer said, "Fascinating," I was like, has this guy ever gone to high school? Because in high school, when people spread rumors about you, you're just sitting there listening to them and you're like, so what did I do next? I did that? Fascinating. Moving away from Decker-Star, I personally like to call them Dexter. I mean, that's like a way better ship name. But moving away from Decker-Star, we come to Linda and Amenadiel and them holding a dinner for Eve and Maze. And that was like, firstly, Linda, how many awkward dinners is she going to be a part of? And she always puts in so much effort. I really like that. So she, created these like themed eggs. How cute was that? Those themed eggs were really adorable.
Wow. This is just fantastic.
Apart from that, moving on to, the conversation that Maze and Eve were having, I think that is a very important conversation that everyone needs to have, please. the whole point of Eve and Maze just constantly, dodging those questions, and they were like, okay, we'll just think about it when we get to hell. What do you mean you will think about it when you get to hell? I don't know if you guys have watched Sex and the City, but I've only watched like season 6. And in season 6, Carrie moves to Paris with Alexander Petrovsky. And then she's like, what is going on? I was like, honey, are you dumb? You were moving to another country for just one person. What did you expect was going to happen? Were there going to be fireworks and dinner parties every single day? What were you thinking? You're moving to a country, you don't know the language, you don't know anyone there. You just know one person and you're changing your entire life for that person. Plan. For the love of God, plan. What are you going to do there? Do you expect, like for Eve, what was she expecting? Did she expect Maze was just gonna, go out, torture some souls, come home, and they will have some dinner and what? Or, she wanted to hold luncheons and tea parties. Like, where are you going? To California to meet her family? You're going to hell, bloody hell. It's not, like the Silver City. So ultimately, they obviously, figured it out. But for you and me, before you get married or get into a serious relationship, before you decide to move to some place for one person or even a bunch of people, decide what you're going to do during that time. Get some hobbies. Get to know the place. Learn the language a bit. Do your homework. I literally have a point that says bow tie, because I need to learn how people tie bow ties. And then at the end of the day, they just like have the rest of it hanging. Like, how does this amount of fabric make an entire bow? I really need to know that. I use like pre-made bow ties that just like open them and close them. That's all I do. I think we're having a storm. I think a storm is about to start. Amazing. Fascinating.
Wonderful. Can you please?
When in Rome, tell me, Duran, what is it you truly desire?
My God, this was firstly the most amazing thing. Was Chloe like, stop. Ask him about the desire thing. And I was like, Lucifer can still do that? He's not the devil anymore. But then I remembered, oh, the coronation hasn't taken place yet, so will he lose that?
No, back up, buddy.
Then it turned out that your girl was right. It was Magna's son who was the murderer. So he took out a dagger, put it to Chloe's throat, was like, okay, bye. Better luck next time. Thank you. Never see you again. Bye-bye. It's never a player. They left. And Chloe pushed the guy across the room, and I was like, okay, it is goddess level kicking in.
What?
She's the goddess after all. Come on, it's cool. But it turned out that she wasn't, much to my disappointment. And also, that was pretty cool. That was pretty clever, actually. Her just getting the confession. And when she was getting the confession, I thought she was going to, like, emotionally manipulate him into, like, breaking down. Be like, oh my God, my father never thought of me worthy, never listened to me. But, she wasn't doing that, but she got the confession. So that's, you're very sharp, Chloe. You're a really great detective.
Because I'm a good friend. And an even better therapist. I mean, you saw from almost broken up to engaged over a single dinner.
The next point goes as, I'm Linda. I am Linda. I literally just lectured you about what you want to do in life. So I am pretty much Linda, and until this point, I was just thinking that Linda was being a very concerned person. And then Amenadiel was like, you're a therapist, but just like try not to be a therapist at all times. And I was like, she is a therapist. I completely forgot about that. And lastly, my entire heart melted when Lucifer put up that picture of Dan and himself by his bedside table. That was so sweet. He could have done it with Chloe's picture, but it was Dan. I sometimes think about the fact that if Maze or Lucifer or any one of them would have actually been present when Dan was shot, they would have taken the bullet for him. Maze did some, I was about to call him Maze. Something moved there. Okay, Mazakine said that she would never take a bullet for Dan, but I think she would have, because like, come on, Dan. Why did he have to die? And they haven't shown us Trixie yet. Like how heartbroken would she be?
I'm still in hell. It still sucks. Berlioz still sucks. Ping pong is not his game, dude.
Dan's still in hell, and like to think that it is the first ever human being who is not being tortured, and like of all people, he chose Dan. Lucifer chose Dan.
Hey, I'm getting better.
Bro, it's been almost 1,000 years down here and you still can't keep a folly going, so...
Daniel, I have commanded the demons to not torture you. You are the first soul ever in this purgatory.
When did they grow so close? It's insane, and like it's like, I think it's like really amazing how Lucifer is going to visit him now. That's like the best. Come on, if he was not going to visit him, that would have drawn me nuts. So he's going to visit him, and we know from the trailer that Chloe's also gonna go down there and really want Dan to just like be in Silver City at this point. Like Lucifer as God, Chloe in the Silver City, Dan in Silver. But what about Trixie? Also, Dan has been down there for about 1,000 years. Can you imagine playing table tennis of all sports for 1,000 years? I mean, if I were in Daniel's place, I would have, utilized those 1,000 years into learning all the sports, because I really want to, learn sports. I mean, I've never had anyone who taught me how to play, baseball or football or basketball. I mean, I've owned basketballs and footballs and all stuff my entire life, but there's never really been anyone to teach me how to play. So I would really, I could have used those 1,000 years into learning and mastering all those. Not that I would be alive to compete, but it would be fun to finally learn. I mean, I still have life, so maybe I will one day learn. So I think that's enough. Let's do the outro. So that was it for this video. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, give it a like. Also comment below and let me know about, how I should be making these videos, and if I should change some editing or how you want me to do these videos, just let me know. And yeah, subscribe, click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload, and also check out my, I get like breathless sometimes, Style and How To channel, as well as my Instagram at LN_Fox, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next video. I'm the only other fox in this world, and I think most definitely my favorite part of this entire episode was, are you alright, my boy? That was the best. Thank you so much for watching, and bye!